For the next 365 days, your boy is gonna smoke no weed, no ganja, and drink no alcohol. Haram! Anyways, guys, I've been on a journey to become the best version of myself, and it has led me down to this path of sobriety. I used to be a cocaine addict, a heroin addict, and used to do all these types of things. No, I'm just kidding. But I did used to smoke weed every day because it was a vibe. It was a fun social thing to do with my friends. Actually, no, that's not really why. I did it because it brought. It was. It's like you get to go into a new consciousness realm. Like you see the green leaves. Like imagine being able to like take this leaf and like, and then all of a sudden you get like new ideas. One time when I used the green plant, I had an idea that I should read the whole Quran in one sitting. It's a book I've always wanted to read. So I had the idea to read the Quran. Then when I read the Quran, I started making videos about myself reading the Quran and what I learned from it. The Quran says to be intoxicant free. If you've never read the Quran, if you don't know about Islam, if you don't know about Christianity, if you don't know about Buddhism, all the religions teach, I would say more or less the same thing. Don't follow your desires. So I realized this was something that I desired to do every single day because it made me think differently. It brought me joy. It made me happy. It would make me want to go do nice things for people. Essentially, like I would be in my room and then I'd be like, yeah, when I go to the grocery store in 10 minutes, I'm going to make someone laugh because life is good. Those are the kind of thoughts that I would have from the devil's lettuce. So I brought a lot of positivity into the world because of it. And it's funny, why am I saying the positive things about it? I'm saying the positive things about it because I know I feel guilty about it. It's because I know it hurts hurting my lungs, smoking weed every day. And I know a lot of you can relate. And if you can't relate, well, now you can hear my story. So basically I said, you know what? I'm going to test this for 1 year. Will my life get better or will it get worse if I do not smoke the green plant for 1 year? As well as alcohol. I actually haven't really committed to not... Did I already say I was going to do it, Latif? Did I say that at the beginning of this? Okay. Well, then I'm now committing to alcohol for 1 year as well, which frick. Weed was the one that made me think, like, should I stop doing this? Alcohol has never been something that... I always, in fact, hated the feeling of being hungover, which is a lot of you guys probably haven't drinking before because a lot of my audience are Muslims from around the world, which are people who are taught to never use alcohol. So you probably don't even know what it's like to feel hungover. Basically, like you just got 2 hours of sleep, even if you slept 8. So I always hated that feeling. Essentially, I want to do an experiment. I want to experiment, will my life be better or will it be worse if I stop using weed for 1 year and if I stop using alcohol for 1 year? Now, the hard thing about alcohol is that it's a big part of society in terms of like social events where I'm from. The hard part about weed is it's such a beautiful green plant that brings you so many ideas. I feel like a philosopher right now. Look at this chair. So this is going to be an experiment, and I'm going to be sharing it with you guys. Is my life going to get better? Is it going to get worse with this year? Will I even make it through? Of course I will, because I never break my word. My word is as sharp as iron. So I actually already made this bet on the beginning of, what month is it? October, September. I made this bet August 1st was the day I was like, you know what? I'm going to actually experiment what my life is going to be like without this beautiful green plant. September 1st was the day I said, you know what? I'm also going to throw in alcohol and see if I don't drink alcohol, how that will work. My hypothesis is that I'm actually going to go back to smoking weed because it brought me so many ideas and it's such an interesting way to live life, to be able to, like, on the snap of a finger, to go into like another state of mind but still be able to do everything. Like there's so many people out there who are using weed all day long and you just don't even know, because if you've never used weed, you might think that when someone smokes it they become like a demon, like they're drunk, but in fact it's not always the case. I trained Muay Thai in Thailand, and the best fighter at our gym smoked from the waking up at 6 a.m. until the night, all day long, training, smoking, working. It was just like part of his lifestyle. So I use that to say that it's a lot different than what you might think. But of course, there's cons to it, which is the reason I'm doing this test, is because I knew there's cons to it. Number one, simply being you're breathing in smoke, so how could that be good for your lungs? I couldn't ever really tell if it affected my lungs. Maybe there was like one time where I was like, I think I can't run as far. But I also think that I was just so paranoid about it. But the fact that I was paranoid about it made me want to stop it. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know if it was actually harming me, really to a point where I could notice it, but it was at least harming my mind because I was worried that I was harming myself. Like, why am I perpetually doing something that is harming me physically? The benefits of it, of weed, are what people think of it. You get happy and giggly, and you get ideas. It affects everybody differently, and it affected me for, I would say, there's a verse of a very famous book that says intoxicants have benefits, however, they have more cons. And I think that's exactly what was happening for me. Like, I think it was 60% cons, 40% benefits, if I had to put a number on it. And so this is about weed, but I'm also throwing in alcohol. Really, alcohol is just the experiment. Like, I really have no desire to stop drinking alcohol because it's not like anything that I want to habitually do. But I want to see basically what will happen in terms of socially. How will I interact with the world around me if I don't use the drink that is used for going out? It literally revolves around social activities. Am I going to not have fun anymore at these events? Am I going to still want to go to these events and just not participate? Am I going to be like, this was the dumbest thing I ever did? Either way, by the end of this year, the goal of this is to have a clear set mind where, you know what? There are benefits to this. There are benefits to this. I think in the end, I'm probably going to just choose moderation. So less smoking and drinking, I probably will stay the same. Or maybe I'll just be like, you know what? Alcohol is not, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to stick to anything strict, because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. So I'm careful what I say about in the future. But this is going to be my journey, and you are along with me. Am I going to make it? Am I going to stay sober? I used to be a heroin addict, and now I'm free. Just kidding. Never done that. Clickbait. Latif, what do you think the people from home are going to ask right now? What would be a question? Honestly, what's your question to me? Like, why am I doing this or what?
Yeah, why have you chosen to go a year without it?
Because, without which one? Both?
Without both, yeah.
Well, weed, because it was making me worried that I was hurting myself. And I was like, is this really bettering my life or is this worsening it? And then I would like stop, and then I'd be like, I want to go back. And I'm like, am I addicted? And they'd be like, to prove myself I'm not addicted, I'd be like, all right, I'm not going to do it for 2 months. And then I would do it not for 2 months. And then I'd be like, immediately after 2 months was over, I'd be like, yeah, I want to start smoking again. So then I would just be like, am I addicted? And I'd be like, well, you're not addicted if you can just stop. And then I'm like, bro, how much time are you wasting on worrying about this? So I was like, you know what? A year is a long enough time. Don't you think a year is a long enough time to do a test?
I guess so, yeah.
Although sometimes I think, like, if I've been doing this for multiple years, then I should go off for multiple years.
Yeah.
So maybe it's really not long enough. I don't know. I don't know, man.
One more question? The other question would be, if you think both have more cons than pros, and you know it's harming you and it's bad for you, and there's only small number of benefits, which I think aren't always guaranteed because it can always go wrong. So why, if you would, and if you said that you might go back to them, why would you go back to them?
Well, I think I would go back to them if I felt more mature in my use in them. Really, weed. I think that if you used alcohol, for example, like once a month for a certain celebration, there is some type of benefit to like the feeling of like, wow, life is really good. I think I've been overcomplicating this. I need to kind of like chill out a little bit, you know, take a chill pill. So I guess that's what this test is. Like, is there really, I think there's more cons than pros for doing them every day. Weed, you can't really drink every day, otherwise your life would be ruined. I don't know. So you're saying if I know that there's more cons than pros, why am I still thinking I might do it?
Yeah. So even
Well, I think that's the point for like the weed specifically. That's the purpose of this, is like, is it really, because part of me, half of me, devil and angel on my shoulder, is like, do you know how many ideas you've gotten from this? Do you know how many times you've smoked and then got an idea like, I need to travel the world. I need to drop out because this is not fulfilling me. Like all of a sudden you get into a higher state. Kind of like when you meditate or pray, or you take a deep breath, you'll be like, what am I doing, bro? I need to like do what I actually want. So that would happen to me multiple times. And I think smoking, I've had a hypothesis that smoking weed is just a lazy way of meditating, a lazy way of praying. It's like a lazy way to get to a higher state of consciousness. And then you have like, you don't sleep as good. You're kind of foggy. I think you can do that naturally. That being said, I don't know, it's nice.
So don't you think if that's the case, like you said, like praying sometimes or meditating, you can still have like a similar feeling, your body resets and you feel refreshed and at peace and you can get more ideas. Isn't that a healthier alternative if the 1 year works out for you?
Well, it's going to work out for me. Like, I'm not going to do it because I don't break my word. It's like iron. I do think it's a healthy alternative, but there are some social benefits to smoking. Because, you know, you like get people around, you're like, let's come together and let's do this activity. Let's come together, let's eat food. Let's come together and let's smoke. Let's come together and let's have a beer. So that wouldn't exist. I mean, you could make that, like, let's come together and meditate, but I feel like that'd be harder to integrate into society. I don't know.
Is it just your circle of friends? Because can't you have a circle of friends where you get together and have a sort of peaceful, like you can pray together and then have a discussion after about ideas and stuff, and you know, similar to how you're explaining the social events with drinking or smoking and stuff, but you can do the same minus those, like with a different circle of friends, perhaps.
Good question, bro. I mean, perhaps, but I don't have that. And my close friends I have in my life, the few close friends that I want to be friends with for next decade plus, I can't really see us coming together and meditating and stuff. It just feels like more solo, like meditation and prayer. And like weed is more social. I don't know, chat. If you smoke weed, explain why in the chat that what benefits you see to it, and explain what cons. If you don't use any substances, explain in the chat why you see, what you see from the outsiders looking in about why would someone ever want to do this. So basically, to recap, just so you guys know what I'm committing to, so that if you know when I've broken my promise. If I break my promise, within the next 24 hours, God willing, like if possible, I'll put up a video saying I broke my promise. I won't break my promise. And my promise is this. From August 1st to next August, I will not smoke any ganja. From September 1st, which is when I started the no alcohol, until September 1st of the next year, I will not drink any alcohol. That's crazy because that revolves a lot around social events in my life. But this is the whole point of this. Like, if I have to sacrifice 1 year of not using these things and it's gonna make my social life worse, at least I'll know by the end of this year that, you know what, there are some benefits to it. So I should feel free in doing it. Or I'll know there are no benefits to it and just know that when you're doing it, you are making a mistake. You know, I'll have some clarity. And so that's what I'm committing to. I'm also gonna commit to not inhaling anything else. So if I rip some nicotine, I won't, like a cigar, you don't inhale. I'm just saying this because I want to make sure you guys know that I don't lie. So if you see a picture of me smoking a cigar or ripping something, a hookah, I'm not going to inhale it. So I'm going to see if my lungs get better if I never inhale anything for 1 year, which, what day is today? Well, I guess I've been breaking that. So I guess I'm only going to do the inhaling thing for like 10 months. 10 months? Okay, forget the inhaling thing. I'm just going to do that from now on until August 1st, whatever today is. No inhaling, no weed, no alcohol. Let's see if my life gets better or let's see if it gets worse. You guys are on a journey. My name is Grayson Brock. I'm 22 years old. If you would like to support me making these videos, sharing my life, if you see any benefit in it, if you see any benefit in making fun of me and sitting here, then you can purchase a coffee for the channel below. Help me and Latif, my kind brother, behind the camera right now. We are currently in Costa Rica. We're traveling, making videos for you guys to show you guys what the world is like and to give you our raw perspective of life. Latif, what do you want to say to all the people out there who are desperate to see what you look like?
Go on the previous lives for the last few days.
My boy Latif. All right, guys. Thanks, Latif, for helping me make this video. Thank you guys for watching. And purchase a coffee for the channel if you want to keep supporting. We're going to Colombia tomorrow. Check out the live streams.
Inshallah.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Also, this video is going up first for the Inner Circle and the Don't Be Fat. If you join Don't Be Fat gang, but next to the subscribe button, you'll see a join button. If you join that, you'll get access to these videos. You'll get access to them before it goes live to the public, so you can get exclusive access to
If
them.
you're on your mobile, you might not see the join button. So
Yes, if you're on the mobile, you might not see the join button. Thank you, Latif. You'll have to go on your computer to see it. But that's if you want exclusive access. And yeah, join the Discord, purchase a coffee for the channel, support the videos, and I'm gonna go smoke some weed. Oh wait, I'm not gonna do that. Okay, see you guys.